I feel like I'm gonna like break my vase over there, but
Admit all. Look at this. 81 guys. We are.
I win already.
What did you say? You said a hundo, right?
Hundo, yeah.
Olivia Toland. Like I said earlier, guys, we will be starting in about 2 to 3 minutes. Just got to make sure we get as many people in here as needed. Amelia, Rumi, all right. And if you do have a volleyball, please grab a volleyball. If you don't have a volleyball, a soccer ball, a basketball, probably not a softball, that'd kind of hurt. A balled up sock if you're desperate. We do have some little volleyball touch games we want to play in the middle of our little session here. Up to 80. I feel like that went down. Crystal, what the heck? You're
at 82, bro.
I know, and then it went down. Now we're back up to 82 again.
I'm still here. I just turned my camera off.
And we're up to 85. Welcome, guys.
Have you seen the thing where you can rename yourself to reconnecting?
Yeah, look at mine. And
Jez posing as Kenji.
I'll show you, Jenna.
Welcome. Brian C. Thornton in the house.
Wow.
Brian Thornton, represent.
Mom, that's not fair. You don't practice.
2 more minutes, guys.
We have to be on.
87, 88.
I saw Ryan.
No. Last time Ryan's was Ryan's Bender.
All right. I think I'm starting to flatten that curve out real quick, but no? Too soon?
Ryan Wang.
A couple more, and then we'll get started. Again, if you are just coming on, we will be recording this. And please make sure your microphones are on mute. If you guys do have any questions, just please type it in the chat portion and address it to me, and then we can read it out at the very end. And yes, thank you, Vanessa. Recorded the cloud. Thank you. Evan Boyle. All right. Westville. All right, let's get started. I'm going to set up the clips first. All right. Thank you all for joining us on this lovely Tuesday evening for our passing clinic. My name is Jez. I'm the 15 Roche coach, and I help out with 13 Roche too. And I'll be moderating / running the show. And our speakers for today, we have Brent Asuka, one of our technical coordinators, or technical directors at our club. We also have Jenna Orlandini, who is our 16 Roche assistant coach, as well as coach at Western. We also have Crystal Raimundo and Vanessa Ramirez helping out too. They're going to do a little bit of a player Q&A and their thoughts on certain plays towards the end of our session. And like I said earlier, this thing is going to be recorded, so just know that. And if you guys could put your microphones on mute, that'd be great. Abby, admit. And if anyone has any questions, type it on the side, and I'll ask them at the end during the Q&A portion of our session. And without further ado, Brent, let's get you talking first, and then I'll set up your first clip, and you let me know when you're ready to go. So,
alrighty. So I know passing can be a little tedious and not necessarily the, I guess, most fun, because hitting and setting and everything else is probably a little bit more entertaining, but it's probably one of the most important things in volleyball, right? If you can be in system and always have your setter taking the ball with their hands, you're always going to be in an advantage. So I think we need to focus a little bit more on serve receive. And as a club, I know we work a ton on like platform and technical stuff on passing, but let's focus a little bit more on reading the server and what the server's trying to do, so we can move our feet faster to the ball and be ready a little quicker. I know a lot of people in here are not only passers, so there's setters, there's middles. Everyone can relate to passing in a way. Outsides pass, some opposites pass, obviously DS liberos pass. I know setters, they like the pass to be good so they can get their hands on the ball. They don't necessarily want to be out of system setting. So everyone can relate middles. Obviously, with a better pass, the more opportunities you guys can get. And then, yeah, just focus on these next couple clips on reading the server and then body posture and platform away from the body. So Jez, if you want to pull up the first one.
Sure.
So before you play it, Jez, as you can see, let's focus on the libero on the other side of the court here. So Morgan Hentz. Obviously, if you guys know her, she's a very good libero. She just graduated, but she's really good.
Better not fall inside you.
So before you play, Jez, pause it. As you can see here, so she starts with her hands on her her knees in kind of a relaxed position, right? So she's relaxed, ready to move. And then just before the server is going to contact the ball or tosses the ball, she gets her hands off her knees and she's ready to move in like a balanced athletic position. So if you want to play it, Jez. So I know this is in slow-mo, but as you can see, like he's going to replay it, but you can see the server facing the left side of the screen or in right back. So if you can break it down, right, if you can tell that she's going to serve on one side of the court, you can already prepare yourself on how to react and how to move, right? And you can see here, Jez, replay one more time to start. So watch watch the entire play. She stays level. Her head stays pretty level. She's not going up and down, right? If you go up and down, the ball moves a little bit more. Obviously, server or float serves, the ball tends to float. And if you don't want the ball to move a little bit more, then it has to, right? In this instance, she knows, I think they're trying to, USC on this close side is trying to serve the outside hitter, which is Catherine Plummer. I don't know if Jez can point her out. So she's ready for that seam if she needs be. And then as you can see, watch her finish the pass here. Her hips are back, her platform's out in front of her, away from her body. Shoulders are down like so. And she finishes her pass to where she wants it to go, right? And she's in a balanced position while she passes. Okay, and then one more time, Jez, keep an eye on the server here. Her arm is all the way back. I don't know if you can see it. And then she follows through. So she's going to serve it to the deeper half of the court. And the libero here tracks the serve pretty early and is able to move her feet to the ball and pass it pretty much in her midline. And this is a pretty technically perfect pass here. Okay, so the next clip here is going to be a little bit more clear. If you want to pull it up, Jez, it's going to be, I know the blockers were blocking that a little bit, but this next clip here will show the entire play. Okay, so same thing. As you can see, the server here is facing that side of the court, right? And she knows that, libero knows that. She's able to react early to this ball and pretty much take the ball where the outside hitter was standing. Okay, and so she reacts to the serve. Jez, it kind of froze here. Okay.
Did it?
Yeah. It's kind of fuzzy now. I don't know if it's for you too. All right. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell it's in slow-mo, but she starts to move literally right when the ball comes off the server's hand. So it's a really good job of seeing that. And she gets her feet all the way to the ball and passes again in her midline, which is a pretty good thing to see because she moves early and is able to get her feet all the way to the ball, right? And same thing, her entire movement is level, her head's level, and she's shuffling, her shoulders are square to the server. Yeah, so next clip, Jez. Jez, Brian has a 3-part question, so.
Brian has a 3-part question?
We can answer that later, yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. The next clip here is going to give you a different perspective from someone who's taller. So I think Catherine Plummer is around 6'5". It'll give you a different perspective on passing. So pause it, Jez. So the libero on Stanford on this side, she obviously starts a little lower, right? And then on Catherine Plummer, if you can see Jez pointer out on the right side of the court here, she starts a little bit more upright, which is totally fine. You want to be comfortable when you start. Okay, and you don't have to do one specific thing. Just be ready, comfortable, and relaxed to start. So play it, Jez.
No.
As you can see again, once he replays it, the server's clearly facing that side and clearly trying to serve that outside hitter. But focus right here on where she forms her platform. She forms it behind the ball instead of forming in her midline and swinging, which I think we all kind of do a little bit. So she forms her platform, and then watch her dip her left shoulder, drop her left shoulder, and kind of bend left with her left oblique muscles, and she's able to angle that platform back, right? And she finishes that pass. Replay one more time, Jez. So again, focus on where she's forming her platform. It's clearly behind the ball, right? A lot of us form it in our midline and it's swing up, which sometimes is a little too late. So we shank the ball to the right there. So again, head stays pretty level, good angle, pretty good pass, or perfect pass, actually. All right, Jez, next clip here, last clip.
16-10.
All right, so in this case, the server has served kind of this zone for a couple times before that. So the servers here kind of know, in a sense, where this ball is going to go. All right, so they're ready to react to this. This is a really, really good move by the libero here. Again, because she knows the ball is going to go to this zone, she's able to basically cover that side of the court so the outside hitter doesn't have to pass there. And then keep an eye on this next time he plays it. She goes directly to the side, right? She doesn't take a step back first, which basically it creates you to lose time. She goes directly to the side and doesn't take a step back, which is good. Okay, and then keep an eye on her shoulder. She's still, while she's moving to the side, she's still squared, right? Squared to the net as much as she can. I know sometimes as passers, we kind of dive to the right and our shoulders are facing off the court, which is a harder thing to do to get the ball back into the court. So as you can see again, she stays square to the server and then creates a good angle with an early platform and then gives up her body. I know Jenna likes to use that terminology where you give up your body on defense, on serve receive, because that's kind of you take kind of what's given and do what's necessary first. So right here again, she takes a good read, takes a step, and then gives up her body, and then gets up pretty quick to go cover. So again, watch it one more time, Jez, so they can see going directly to the side, and then shoulders are square, and then she starts moving literally when the server contacts the ball. So if you can play that one more time, Jez, so they can see when she starts moving. Like she just contacts and she's already moving to the right because she knows it's going to be there. So that's a good read and a good pass. So that's kind of what I have on serve receive. Again, I know serve receive to get reps can be tedious or whatnot, but really, really focus on it as it's, if not, serve and pass is probably the most important thing in volleyball. If you can get that down, your team is going to be pretty good no matter what. So, yeah, that's on serve receive.
All right. I'm going to answer Brian's 3-part question now because this has nothing to do with volleyball. How many shoes do I have? 129 in that ballpark. I set it up as my background on purpose because no one wants to see a blank wall. Brent, this is for you. Oh, wait. And where do I place my favorites? Actually, it's for me. Yeah, shoulder level, right in the head space. But that's enough of that. Brick walls are nice. Thank you. All right. So, Jenna, where are you?
Wait, did you say you have a question for me?
No, it was pertaining to me.
Got it.
Jenna is going to explain what we're going to do with our first ball drill, which is called single arm passes. So everyone grab your volleyball so Jenna can explain what we're doing.
The Miles look really enthused right now.
Jez, I'm actually going to explain it as Crystal demos it.
Perfect.
So
Crystal,
go
you're
to
on
Crystal.
spotlight.
Oh,
All right, she's on spotlight. So you guys, I want you to stand up and get in a squat position like you would when you are passing. And you're just gonna toss the ball to yourself and pass with one arm only, single arm, okay? And as you watch Crystal do this, she's not coming up out of her squat position. She's keeping her legs low and loaded, and she's contacting the ball on her forearms, one after the other, okay? So we are going to hold a minute here, and I want you guys to count how many touches you guys can get in a minute, all right? So I'm gonna get my phone out here. We're gonna set a timer, 1 minute timer, all right? Ready? Go. We should be playing music right now, huh? Ed, cue the
Jeff
music.
can sing if he wants. I mean,
You can do it, guys. Motivation.
Woo. I should have put up music.
Yay.
you should have a playlist ready, man. Come
I
on.
know. We
Hold
didn't
on.
think
Give me
about
a
that.
second. Let me get some Spotify.
40 seconds. You guys count how many you can do. Crystal, you're not done.
Just want to shout out to all the people doing it. Good
Stay
job.
low, stay level. You guys doing great.
For those of you who are doing it, thank you for not being
Ooh,
too
the Mao twins. I only see one of you guys doing it though.
You only have one ball, I think.
Emily Wyrick, grab
Oh,
a
it's only one
volleyball.
ball.
Do your drill. Come
Hayden
on.
George, shout out. She's a middle. She's doing
Hey,
it.
George, rocking it. Here we go.
Ellie
Oh,
Chou,
two
I
hands
see
thing.
you.
We got two Jensens on one screen.
Campbell,
there we
that
go.
pass is too low.
Oh, Abby, outside middle blocker, showing up here.
Good job, you guys.
Workout.
Oh, that's time. We are done. Nice job. If you guys want to put in the chats how many you got, awesome. Gonna give you guys kudos points for that. All right, so now we are going to do a 30-second plank on the left, a 30-second plank on the right. Okay, I'm gonna set a timer here for 30 seconds. Okay, on the left side first. Ready, go. 30 seconds.
Here you go,
Plank
Brett.
on
Oh, there you
the
go. Is that return to the Mac?
right or left.
Return to the mat.
Nice. No, Jez, keep it going.
Solid.
You've got a pretty bad plan.
Like Brent said, you guys got to have good core if you guys want to be a good passer.
Good obliques. You got to bend and use those angles.
That's time, guys. Switch to the other side. Ready? Go. 30 more
I
seconds.
think Jimmy low left, guys.
Left?
I'm offended.
Armando wrote that he got a number that
I'm
I
right
can't
here, bro.
quantify.
Oh, Jimmy's back. Jimmy's back, guys.
Nice job, guys. Yeah, we should have choreographed the dance here.
Yes, how can you tell how many people are in here?
I don't know.
91 right now.
All right, that's time. All right, nice job. Okay, so now the last one we're gonna do, I think I have to stand up and demo this for you guys if you don't know it. They're called figure skaters. Ugh. Ooh. Okay, so when you guys are doing figure skaters, you want to start on one leg. So if you're starting on your right leg, I don't think you guys can see me very well. Okay, you're gonna start on your right leg. Okay, you're gonna push and you're gonna land on your opposite leg and you're gonna stay balanced. Okay, then we're gonna push off that leg and we're gonna stay balanced on the opposite leg. Okay, so you look kind of like a figure skater. All right, we've got 10 on each side. Don't rush
Emily, why are you
it. Try to
shaking
stay
your head?
balanced. Sorry?
Emily Wyrick was shaking her head, I don't know.
You guys kind of got it? Do you want me to demo it again?
Ready to go, Jenna?
Yeah.
9 minutes?
I mean, if they did 10, I'm ready to go, yeah.
All right. So, Jenna, what will you be discussing here?
So I'm going to be discussing defense, Jez. Thanks for asking.
Of course. Super polite. contrary to popular belief.
So you guys, so the first clip that Jez is going to show for us is just a 40-second clip of an attitude. So a lot of defense has to do with your attitude in digging the ball and wanting to get the ball up, and like Brent said, sacrificing your body for the ball and having that sort of attitude going into it. If you guys can have that attitude going into defense, some of the technical stuff becomes easy, but you have to let yourself go to the ground, play defense, throw your body at the ball as you may. Okay, so Rocky, can you play that clip?
Absolutely.
By the way, Rocky is Jez, for those of you guys that don't know.
Oh yeah, Jez. Thanks.
It's my love of the Rocky movies. All right.
So we're just gonna play this whole clip all the way through. And this is Japan versus the USA a while back, but I just really like this clip. It shows a lot of grit. It shows a lot of attitude and not giving up as a team on each other. It's just a really good clip. Really nice defense all the way around. So as you guys can see, all those players are throwing their body at the ball. They are sacrificing their body to make sure that ball comes up. You don't have to play it again, Jez. Thank you.
But Mama, it's not working for Lucia. It's not working for Lucia.
Well, that's okay. That's not your.
Yeah, but
Okay, so the next clip I want Jez to show is, it is still Japan versus USA, but it's a different match. I want you guys to see a couple things. So we talked about an attitude on defense. Okay, so if you already have that, you've set yourself up in a really nice position to make a play. Okay, so we want to watch being stopped and in a loaded position. Okay, what is a loaded position? A loaded position is being low to the ground and ready to push off the ground with your legs. Okay, so essentially it's just you contracting your muscles, ready to push off of them. Okay, now in this one, Jez, which clip is this? 36, 33?
36, 33.
I want you guys to see the libero for Japan here. She's in the white shirt on the close side. And I want you just to see her body position, okay? She makes really nice plays because she's just in a really nice position to go to the ground and make plays. This is a nice little pass here from the USA. I want you to see she's just ready to go to the ground. On defense, you guys have to remember most of the balls that you're going to play are going to be used with your platform. And they're going to be played mostly towards the ground, obviously. So we want to make sure that we have our body in a position to do that. So she makes two really nice plays here. Do you see how she's not super stiff on defense, but she is in this really nice ready position? I want us to see that, how she starts in this really nice position. She's low, she's ready to move. She's stopped and she's not stiff. She's ready to move and kind of smooth as she goes. And then she gets back in her base position, ready to do the same thing. You see how her legs are in that loaded position, ready to push. And I want you guys to recognize that defense is not always about being perfect. You don't need to have perfect plays all the time. It's about making playable digs where someone else is capable of doing something. It's one thing to get digs, but it's one thing to make sure that they're playable by someone else. And that's something that we got to make sure we do.
Next
All
clip.
right, Jez, you can play the next clip, 40-27. So I want us to see here, this is actually a setter playing defense back here on right back for, it's a nice pass right here too, Brent, shout out. So this middle blocker right here, Rocky, can you go back a little bit? This middle blocker is late. And I want you to see what this right back defender does. She doesn't stay wide. She gets into the empty space on the court. She doesn't shy away from a hitter who has some court that she can hit. The set's a little bit inside, middle blocker's late. She goes angle, and that right back defender gets into the court ready to make a play. And she's not super jerky with her movements. She kind of just goes to where the play is telling her to go. A nice dig. All right. Now the last play, Jez, 40-53. So this is a good play by both. I like this play by both teams. Shows a lot of hustle, a lot of grit, a lot of good defensive movements, okay? So I want you to see, just going back to everything that we talked about, we're staying low. We're in a nice loaded position, and we are stopped, ready to make a play. So this play right here in particular, go back a little bit, Jez. This middle here makes a really nice touch on this outside hitter. And the libero doesn't stand up to make this play. She waits for the ball to fall a little bit towards the ground. And she plays this ball a little bit lower to the ground. She's got a nice long contact on the ball for her to push this ball perfect in the middle of the court. That's it. Might seem like a small move, but makes a big deal in the quality of her dig. She's not standing up. She kind of stays low there. I really like that move. All right, now you can just play it all the way through. Nice touch, nice dig. We just see a lot of really nice hustle here. Throwing our body at the ball, getting a good touch, playable dig. We keep the ball in play. Free ball here. And nice dig. Okay, so we're just showing some hustle, loaded position. Nice. All right, and those are the defensive clips.
All right. So before we move on to the next portion, Jenna, would you like to explain and have someone demo what our 6-touch pepper is?
I would love to. So Vanessa, you there? You awake?
Do I have Vanessa?
Yes,
Vanessa, you can mute yourself.
Vanessa, all right. So you guys, we're gonna get your ball out here. We need everyone to grab their ball. We're gonna do a little bit of 6-touch pepper. Okay, so this is just by yourself. You don't need a partner. You don't even need a wall. Okay, you're just gonna pass the ball to yourself. You're gonna set. You're gonna tomahawk. You're gonna fist right, fist left, pokey right, pokey left, and then go back to the beginning. Okay, I'm gonna type that in the chat. So it starts with a pass, a set. It doesn't have to be in this order, just all those skills have to be used. Pass, set, tomahawk, fist right, fist left. And this is just you playing around with the ball with your hands, okay? So you guys just getting a nice touch with your hands on the ball. What's the other one? Pokey right, pokey left, and back to the beginning. All right, so that's a little 6-touch pepper. You can do that on your own.
You freeze, Jenna? I think she froze.
Yeah, Jenna froze.
All right, well, until we get Jenna back online, let's time you guys out. Oh, you back, Jenna? You back?
Back.
You back?
I'm back.
All right.
I don't know.
Get that timer out, Jenna. Let's see who can win. And you froze again. Way to kill the excitement there. All right, so until Jenna gets back, why don't I set my timer up for about 1 minute and 30 seconds, and let's see how many touches we can get in about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Brent, cue the music. Wait. Not prepared for that. And start. Go. Jenna, you back yet?
You're not ready for that. It's all you, man.
I don't know. When was I gone? Am I back?
You're back. Let's see, what do we have here? Shannon Dunn, very nice. Bella Lomé, just a nice backyard. Mila. PG. I feel like I should be playing music, huh, guys? No one on the back page is doing it.
Yeah, we should.
I'll go back to Brent's song. There you go. Brian would like to point out that that's 7 touches, not 6.
Hey, he also has a question, Jez, about the mental state for passer. So just keep that
I
in
did.
mind.
We'll go over that at the very end. I'll open that up for you guys. That's pretty good. "25 seconds. Finish up. And then Jen will have another lovely few exercises for you guys to do. And then Brent, you're up with Crystal.
And
And then Jenna, you're up with Crystal and Vanessa. 5, 4, 3, 2, and time.
Nice job, guys. So you guys can do that on your own with a partner, whatever you want. The next one you guys are going to do is 50 Russian twists. Okay, got to get our obliques going. So you guys are going to sit on the ground, lift your legs up, and just touch side to side. 50 of them total, not on each side. If you want to do each side, 50, go ahead.
shout out to the Mows here. They're just crushing it.
Go twins.
Rushing the workout.
Crushing it. I can't see anyone else because all their cameras are facing up, but
It does look like a rather nice evening.
we got
outside.
Abby here. Abby's crushing it.
Emily Wyrick is still setting a ball at no for some reason.
You know, everyone else is not doing it. Ellie Chou, did you finish yours already? Still going. There she goes.
Yep, Wyrick here setting the ball. I don't know what she's doing here.
That's a big thumbs down on the workout there.
Maybe so,
Definitely
yeah,
not
so.
a Russian twist, Emily.
All right, the next exercise you guys got are single leg hip lifts. Okay, so that's your hip lifts. I don't know if there's another name for them. Is there? I don't think so, but we're gonna do it with a single leg. Okay, so you guys are gonna do your hip lifts. You're gonna be on the ground. You're gonna put your heels on the ground, and then you're gonna lift your hips, but you're gonna do that one leg at a time. So it isolates one leg. Do that on the left. Nice job, Ellie. That's just how you want to do it. Nice job, guys. Single leg hip lifts. You got 10 on each leg. Again, we want to have good hip strength, good core strength if we are wanting to be a good passer, good defensive player. Way to go. All right, now the next one we have, we've got 10 lateral squats. So you're going to start in your position, just standing. You're going to take a step out to the right, and you're going to squat on one leg down. You're going to come back to the middle, and you can either stay on that right leg for 10, or you can go back and forth. Okay, you just got to do 10 on each leg, 20 total. Yep. Now twins are doing it. When you guys come back to the center, take another step out. You don't just want to sway from side to side. That's more of a stretch. You want to step, single leg squats, lateral squats, right?
Yes.
You guys got 10 of them on each side, and you're done.
Solid.
All right. Most of you guys done? Thumbs up if you're done. Nice. Way to go, team.
All right.
No, again, shout out to everyone doing it and showing it. That's awesome.
Before we move on to the next portion, guys, please make sure you mute your videos. Please, please, please. We get a lot of feedback on some of you guys, so please do so. Brian, yes, you can get water. I'm assuming serving is greater than passing is you. Or Jimmy.
I think that's Jimmy, dude.
Is that Jimmy? Jimmy, go get some water, bro. All right. So, Crystal, Vanessa, unmute yours. Okay. And Brent is going to go over some clips with them, and he's just going to do a little bit of a Q&A with what they're thinking, while plays were going on, what they're seeing, what they're feeling, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to share my screen to the video portion, And Brent, you go ahead and go.
All right, thanks 18 Roche for letting us use your film here. So this one, it's going to be in row 1 before you start, Jez. You can, or just V or Crystal, kind of what are you, why are you guys positioned in this way? This is row 1. Kind of why are you guys shifted toward the outside here or toward the right side of the court? And you guys are basically covering 2/3 of the court. So one of you guys want to just kind of your mindset of what's going on here on your positioning.
Yeah, so we talked about this in advance. So since we're in row 1, our outside Amara is front row right now on the right side. Yeah. So we want her to be able to like transition out and hit as soon as possible. So what we do is we split more court so that way Amara can focus on hitting.
Yes.
Awesome. And then Vanessa, when else can we utilize this kind of shifting aspect? Kind of where is the outside hitter and whatnot?
Well, first of all, like you can see like where the serve's going.
Okay.
So you want to shift more that way to the outside, to the right.
Can we also do this when you guys are in middle back and right back and the outside is in the front row on the left?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So again, kind of what we're showing here is you guys don't need to be balanced kind of on the court if you have a libero, DS, or whatnot, and you can release your outside hitter and let them get into their approach earlier. Obviously, V and Crystal here are really good passers. Crystal, nice pass. And I think they could probably take both of them the entire court if they wanted to. So they could probably do a two-person pass, and I know they probably feel more comfortable with that as well.
Next clip.
Right. What? Next clip, please. So this next clip is specifically for Vanessa. You kind of take half the court. I just want you to kind of share what do you read on a server? I know we kind of discussed this a little bit, but just kind of what are you reading when you're passing and you see the server? Kind of what are you seeing?
I see like the arm, and then for me, I like usually see like the eyes, like where she like looks last. So that's like my perspective.
Okay. Do you kind of focus on their approach, kind of where they're approaching and stuff like that?
Like where they're facing.
Right. Okay. Sounds good. Again, you kind of take half the court here, get a good pass in the seam.
Yeah.
Just wanted to show a good clip of you kind of taking half the court. Just play it one more time. Awesome. Good. All right. Next clip. This one's for kind of both of you. It's 2 plays back to back. The server here serves short and then serves deep in back-to-back plays. So I just want to show everyone kind of, we'll ask Crystal, I guess, what she's seeing on the short serve here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so typically when people serve short, like especially at this level, they drop their elbows so that they can under the ball. So if you see that, they also like stop their hand like right on contact. So like if they're serving deep, like you follow through it most of the time, and then when you serve short, they stop and like under it so it pops up a little bit. So you can like look for that when you're looking for short deep servers.
Awesome. Watch it one more time. She stops her hand like Crystal says and reacts to the ball. And then the next clip here is going to be the same exact server, the next play, serving deeper. So V, kind of what are you reading on her arm swing and kind of what are you seeing?
Like for me, I see like when she's like swinging all the way out, like the speed of the ball.
Got it. So she follows through with her arm swing, right? She's not stopping short or stopping her arm like the short serve.
No.
That's a good pass there with a nice angle and a good platform. Nice swing, Lydia. All right, next play. So this one's going to be about, for Crystal and for Vanessa, kind of between plays before the server actually serves, kind of what the dialogue is between serve receivers before the play starts. So Crystal, if you want to go first, kind of what are you giving feedback? What are you saying between plays? What are you saying to your passers, et cetera?
So like, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like pointing to Amara. So I'm kind of telling V what I'm taking like in between me and Amara, and then like what V should take accordingly, because we're probably shifting seams so that I take the seam between me and Amara. So I'm telling V to take our seam. So usually that will depend on like which server is like on the other side of the court. So we just talk about it between every play.
Yeah.
Awesome. V, do you have anything to add to that one?
Nope.
Okay. Do you guys get kind of feedback as far as tendencies of the server, kind of where they want to serve? Does that help you guys?
Yeah, that helps me at least.
It helps me too as well.
Awesome. And then Jez, just replay it when they're talking again, or kind of before the talking. You can see their kind of body language. They're kind of high-fiving everyone, including everyone, which is good, right? Even before that, Jez, you can see their body language.
No.
Going around high-fiving everyone. That's another thing that I know we like to focus on, right? Giving love to everyone, stuff like that. All right, last clip for me with them. So Crystal, I know V kind of said what she's reading from the server, so this next clip is for you. If there's anything else you look at in a server, kind of what are you looking at when they're serving?
I guess this isn't like specifically for serving also, but I look at a lot of like player tendencies. So when we like scout players beforehand, you can kind of tell like when they switch up what they're going to do based on their body language. But then also for serving, I guess I look at ball trajectory off like their hand. So typically if it's like going to go deeper, the trajectory is going to be more flat, but when it's shorter, the trajectory like goes up a little bit. And then same thing with like spin and float, you can kind of tell based off their contact and their arm swing.
Okay, what do you guys, once the server hits the ball, what are you focused on a part of the ball, or like what do you focus on once the server contacts the ball? Is it the bottom of the ball? What are you looking at? Or the whole, like,
I guess like not really the ball. A lot of the times I look at like the ball in relation to the net because I'll tell you a lot about where it's gonna go. So like where like see how like it's higher above the net, like it's probably gonna go deeper if it's like that. But then also just like trajectory of the ball, so like which way the ball is flying. So,
okay, cool.
I don't know if that answered your question.
No, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a nice pass right there. I just want to point out real quick, I know a lot of us kind of hold our platform through the pass. Crystal sometimes breaks a little bit after the pass to kind of relax herself. So that's a little more of an advanced kind of move that helps her to relax a little bit after the pass or during the pass. Both ways work. V, I know, holds her pass and her angle. Again, both work as long as you're holding your platform and creating that angle throughout the pass. And then after that is kind of what helps you stay the most relaxed. So on to Jenna, I think, with her clips.
Yep. Jenna, you ready?
Good job, Crystal. Nice job, V. I actually learned a little bit there for service through passing. Way to go, guys.
Jenna, first clip, 208.
First clip. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to switch gears a little bit here and talk about defense again. So same two kids here, Crystal and Vanessa, we're going to look at their defensive movements. Now, Rocky, can you pause it real quick? Pause it. I want you guys to see, you know, we talked about body positioning and getting our legs in a position to push, that loaded position. And what I like about Vanessa and Crystal as far as defense goes is they're not real stiff on where they are on the court. You guys have probably heard your coaches say that being in a spot on defense is where the play takes you, right? You don't want to be, you know, in a specific spot just because. You want to be there because the play told you to be there. Now for this play, we're going to watch it. We have a triple block up. And Vanessa makes a nice little adjustment here, and it's not in a structured move. It's in a nice flow. It's a nice smooth position. And so Vanessa, I kind of want you to talk about what made you move to this area on the court and how you're able to keep this dig off the net.
Well, first of all, Coach Brian always wanted us, when there's always a 3-up, he wants us to move up. And second, I saw the tip, the hand of the outside hitter, so I moved.
So let's look at this outside hitter here. Her body and arm in relationship to the ball, she's showing tip really early. So something in Vanessa's brain is saying, okay, this ball's going to go short or it's going to, you know, get pushed somewhere. So she's not committed to one spot. She waits. See that little hesitation? She sees it's a tip. And then right there, she just waits to see exactly where the ball is going to go. And she lets her eyes do the work. So she sees where that tip is going and she makes a nice dig off the net. And like we said, you guys, defense is not about making perfect plays. It's about making playable digs. And she makes a nice playable dig here where her setter can get to and her team can transition really nicely. And I think they get a kill here, right?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so let's go to the next clip. This is 4:45. So this is in the middle of a play. And this goes back to our little 6-touch pepper that we did. Those little skills that we're using with our hands. You never know when you're going to have to pokey a ball. You never know when you're going to have to kick a ball. You never know when you're going to have to use all this fun stuff. So this is a nice cover ball here. And Vanessa's covering her teammate, and she doesn't know what skill she's going to use. She uses a little fist right here on the ball. She gets this ball up. Sometimes defense isn't pretty. It's not always going to be perfect. You just got to make a play there. So Vanessa, how did you get comfortable using this skill in a game? And did you practice it? You know, talk to us a little bit.
Well, I'd like practiced it like a lot, and like the one hand touch like always it like made me more comfortable to do it. So I've been practicing. By practicing, like you'll get like the confidence to doing it.
Yep, I agree with that. Cool. All right, next clip, Rocky. Which one is it? 18, 16? Okay, so this is Crystal here. She's low and she's loaded, and you see the ball here in relation to the hitter, you know, what her arm is doing. You see how, pause it real quick, Jez. Oh, we missed it.
Got it. I got it. Yeah, pause.
So you see how Crystal is letting this hitter hit a lot of line. She's not pulling all the way off from where she would be at her base position. She kind of lets the hitter get a lot of court. And then her eye work, she gets on this hitter and she sees maybe this hitter can't really hit the ball at her. So she puts herself in a position to make a play. And then from there, the hitter kind of feeds right into what she sees. So Crystal, can you take us through a little bit of your eye work here? What kinds of stuff do you look at on defense and why you moved this way?
Ooh, can I tell Jez when to pause?
Yes, you can tell Jez what to
Pause
do.
on the setter real quick when the ball's in her hand.
Oh wow, even before the
Oh, I love it, Crystal.
Okay, like right there. Do you see like where her back is like arched that way? So you can tell that she's going in for a D ball, and the setter's most likely gonna set her there. So that's when I like get more depth and like try to take over that much court, because we do commit blocking. So I think that's Lydia on the outside, and so Lydia's like going in from the middle. So I know I'm gonna be one-on-one with the D ball. So that keep going, and then pause when the hitter's about to hit Jez. Sorry.
Absolutely.
And then okay, pause. So like the set dies inside, and so like the outside, the right side is like reaching this way. So for her to hit line, it's gonna be really hard for her to like cut back that way. And if she does, it's gonna be like relatively slower. So I have time to get that, but most likely, since she's gonna tip, because she never drops her arm and she kind of like keeps it up out here, and she can't really tip this way, it's gonna be harder. So you can just like read that and then like go into the court when she does it. So that's what was going through my head.
Love that.
that's high quality stuff, Crystal.
That is super high quality. So for everyone listening, it is going back to the very beginning portion of Crystal's answer there. It's important that you guys know the game plan as liberos and defensive players. You guys want to be good at defense in the back row, you have to know what's going on in the front row. Like Crystal said, you were saying how one of your blockers was commit blocking on one of the front row outside hitters. As a defensive player, you should know those things. You're not just back there just doing your own thing. You are part of the system. And part of that means putting yourself in a position to make a play. So everything that Crystal, you said right there is really, really nice. Love those answers. Nice play. Nice and smooth, ready to push off of your legs there and make that play. All right, next. Next one, which one is it? 27?
28.
Okay, so Vanessa, this is just a funny play. We kind of talked about this. You guys, funny plays happen in volleyball. This is funny. Vanessa, can you tell us how you did this?
Oh God. It just happened. Honestly, it just happened. No.
Yeah, you guys, you never know when this play is going to happen. You see this, you actually make a really nice read. You're ready to make that play. You fall and you just get this ball. This is just funny. Guys, we're supposed to laugh.
And that's kind of, hold on, that's kind of why Jenna had you do the 6-touch thing, just to kind of get the touches on the ball so you can be ready for plays like that.
Yeah, you guys, you never know when a play like that's going to happen. You don't think that Vanessa thought for 1 second she was going to have to play the ball like that. No way.
No.
You play volleyball and you do the thing. Love it. All right.
Last clip, 42-28.
Clip, 42-28, yeah. Okay, so this is actually a 2-part play for Crystal here. She makes a really nice, see she's low and she's loaded. Can you go back one little slower? Go back a little bit. So
I'm on the serve.
yeah, just pause it when the setter has the ball in her hands.
Perfect.
So see how Crystal right here, she's already making a move back. You see that the setter's off the net, the pass is off the net, and something is telling you, I don't need to be here anymore. So you make this dig and it's over the net. And that happens a lot in volleyball. Guys, hitters can hit the snot out of some digs and sometimes it's hard to keep the ball on your side of the court. But if you guys, this is a really nice play. Crystal, you can talk about that. But if you guys just sacrifice your body, you're ready to get in there and make a play, you're doing some really nice stuff right there. Okay, so now walk us through what you're thinking as this play goes on. By the way, you guys, if you don't see the score here, it's the 3rd set against Austin Juniors. The score is 5-5. So just situationally put yourself in that position.
Yeah. Okay. So Jen already said it, but when the setter's off the net and the pass is off the net, like the probability of them jumping goes down significantly. And if they do, you have a lot more time because the ball has to travel more. So it's like easier to get up. For the outside hit, I don't know. I just kind of threw my body at that one. But for the setter jump after, like the setter's back row, but what I find super helpful before playing teams is scouting that team. And so I already knew like going into the game that the setter was really active, especially like in tight situations. So even though she's back row, she's going to try to stay below the plane of the net to dump. So I just wanted to be ready for it. It wasn't like I was going to commit to it or anything. And then also just like throwing your body at the ball and kind of like going for it is kind of just a really good tip, I guess. Like one of the best advice I've ever gotten was like, you never know until you go. So like if you go and you don't get it, like you don't get it. But most likely the reason you're not getting a bunch of balls is because you hesitate for them. So you might as well just throw your body at it.
Yeah, and I think it's really important here that it's okay on defense right here. There's no way that you could have gotten that ball from the setter staying on your feet. I think sometimes playing this ball, you have to fall. If you tried to stay on your feet right there, it would have been really, really hard for you to get this ball up in the way that you did. And so I think you being okay falling to the ground and you being okay just kind of committing to this that's a really big hump to get over and to challenge yourself to do. And I think that you have worked really hard to make plays like that, which is awesome. So that's all we got for defense and passing clips. Vanessa and Crystal, thank you.
No problem.
Does anyone have any questions? I know we did have one earlier, and I'm going to direct it at all 4 of you, Brent, Jenna, Crystal, and Vanessa. Can you guys talk about your mental space as a passer? What do you guys think about before the serve? Was it different in practices and matches, or is it the same? Why don't we start with you, Brent? Let's start with that question for you.
I mean, obviously, serve receive is you can get a little anxious, I guess, because sometimes, like we talked about, the serve is coming at you, and that can kind of play with your head a little bit. But it's just about kind of setting a focal point and resetting yourself after every play and being ready for the next one. Whether it's a good pass or you shank it or you make an error or whatnot, I think just resetting yourself after every play is super helpful. And I know in practices that Brian brought up in practice versus games. I know in practice we kind of just go through the reps and just get rep after rep after rep. But what I tried to do is put myself in a game situation in every rep in practice, just so I'm ready for the game in every situation and not just kind of going through the motions. I set myself up for every play like it was a game.
Jenna, thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's really helpful information to have. I also think that it's really hard to separate training from competition. It's easy to hold on to mistakes. It's easy to hold on to plays, especially when you're passing, because it is such a closed skill and there is a lot more time between contacts. Unlike some of the other contacts in volleyball where it happens a lot faster. So it's a lot easier, I think, to talk yourself into things and talk yourself out of things. And so just making sure that whatever voice you guys have in your head is talking to you in the positive and saying things that you want your body to do, you want your behavior to be like, and using those words in your head really help get over mistakes and internalize success as well, and see yourself making some improvement and staying positive that way.
Vanessa, any thoughts on that?
Well, for me, like always, Coach Brent always like told me like to stay calm, and like staying calm is like really important. And like if you like make a mistake, it's like move on. You got the next ball. Just like have that mentality that you're gonna get the next ball. And like in practice and games, practices, I'll just be like more aggressive. In games, it's like the same thing for me. Like practicing games, I keep it like my mentality. Like if I practice good, it's gonna show in the game. So that's for me.
And Crystal, final thoughts on that?
Yeah. Oh, I can see my face. Okay. Well, I struggled a lot with this particular aspect, especially in serve receive when Jenna was my coach. And so like kind of finding little like quirky ways to keep yourself grounded. Like she had me write in Sharpie before every game, SP on my wrist. So then every single time before I passed, I would like see it, and basically just stood for like stay positive. And like it kind of had a trickle effect. So basically the rest of the team started writing SP on their wrist before every game. And like having that kind of like camaraderie around you kind of just like helps you stay focused, and then like recognize that like you're doing it not only for yourself, but it's like for everyone around you. And so I feel like making sure like you understand that yes, it is a game, like yes, it's important, but also like it's not going to define the rest of your life if you shank one pass, like helped me get through it a little bit. So
perfect. All right. Does anyone have any questions for the four panel people? Sorry, I got a PPC.
Hey, there's another question, Jez. There's another question.
Is there? Vanessa and Crystal, are you guys ever nervous or scared to bump a spike? How do you deal with that?
I'm never scared to like get a kid, like someone spiking at the ball. It's like whatever. Honestly.
I am scared of it sometimes. I mean, I don't want to get a concussion. Like I feel like that's a big fear. Like I've had one, but it's always like, especially when there's no block up, sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't curse.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, oh God. I mean, the way I deal with it is just, I kind of just stay there. Like I just let it happen, like let myself get hit. But like, yes, there's the fear of that. But I think it also comes down to like, especially in clinics when I was little, it was either Kenji or Will, they would stand on a box above the net and they just start like hammering balls. Like when I was little at like towards my platform to like get me used to it. So I feel like just like practice it. Practice it. Yeah. That was Will. Okay. Yeah. I didn't remember.
That was not me. I did not type that. My name is Jez posing as Kenji.
Oh.
What do you guys eat to stay fit? Are there any dietary restrictions? Are you more of a chicken like Chick-fil-A person, or beef like cow? Interesting question. Panel?
I don't think you should ask me. I didn't eat very well when I played, so let's move it along to someone else.
Jenna, fantastic pregame for you.
Like what do I prefer, chicken or beef? Is that the question?
Dietary restrictions as an athlete. How do you stay fit?
I don't necessarily try to use the word restrict. I think that's not real healthy. I think you just try to gear yourself more towards the healthy option. So not saying you can't have something. If you want to have ice cream, go ahead and have it. But just making the next best choice, I guess. Reach for the apple and not the ice cream.
Do you any superfoods, Jenna, or V or Crystal?
In and out.
Jenna,
Coffee.
do you like kombucha a lot?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah. All the above.
I drink coffee before every game. I feel like that's not a very good thing.
All right. Any other last few questions, guys? Are we good? All right.
Real quick though, Jenna, is there any drills you can do at home for anyone that wants to work on defense or serve receive or whatnot?
I mean, if you guys can get a wall, you can pass against the wall, you can serve against the wall, you can set against the wall. If you have another person you can play with. I hate pepper. If you guys know me, you know I hate pepper. But there's tons of other fun things that you guys can do at home. You guys can bump to yourself, set to yourself, and then spike to your partner, bump to yourself, set to yourself, spike to your partner. You guys can do a 2-ball drill where you guys are trying to keep 2 balls up at the same time. That's a fun one. It's a little, you guys are bored at home. You can also practice juggling. That's a really good multitasking. I think everyone should have good hand-eye coordination if you want to be a volleyball player. So anything to do that at home.
All right. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us for our passing and defensive online clinic. As always, if you guys have any questions like that, please feel free to contact one of us and we'll do our best to try and get you guys the proper answer or some video or something like that. With that being said, see you guys all later. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Jess.
Later, everyone.
Thanks, Crystal.
Thank you.
Vanessa.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.